Hello, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students preparing for FRM and CFA exam. Now, we have with us one of our students who has been able to clear FRM Level 1 in the November 2022 attempt. And we're going to be talking about a journey of preparation and what was his way of clearing the exam. Again, all of these videos that we are doing, the intention is to make sure that people who are studying on their own, or they need motivation, they need guidance, then the journey of these students can help them to prepare better for the exam. So with this, let us start with the discussion. Rahul, thank you very much for joining in. And it's way early in the morning, and thank you for taking out time. And for the benefit of the audience, if you could tell us when you started your preparation and what was the background of yours, what were you doing on that point in time?
Okay, so I will start with the background first. Uh, I am an engineer basically. I
Okay.
completed my engineering in 2010. Then I started working as a quality assurance engineer, completely on the technical part. But the domain, the company with which I was working was a financial domain company,
Oh.
basically into fixed income and equities. So
Oh.
in 2012, I thought of doing something in finance domain. So I did full-time MBA in finance, 2 years.
Okay.
Then after that, I joined Oracle as a business analyst.
Okay.
So from there, my actual fixed income, my financial domain journey started. There I was working as a business analyst, and the client for which I was working was State Street Global Advisors, and I was working on that fixed income construction tool as a BA. And on the client side, each and every one were FRM actually. So on the client side, my entire team was FRM certified. They were CFA, FRM. So from 2014, I started hearing this term FRM, and I read about it. What is its demand, the difficulty of the exam. Then in 2016, I actually thought of giving the exam. I also bought some books from the bookstore. I started reading it, but then I thought that I'm reading the same chapters again and again. But
Okay.
then I couldn't make a proper plan of it, how to go about with it. But the plan was dropped because of some, work commitments. Then again in 2022, April month, I was just sitting and having a casual discussion with my wife and family. Then it came in between that I have this dream of becoming an FRM certified. So on the same day, without thinking, I just registered for the exam. I didn't start my studies. I just registered
Oh,
for the exam.
okay.
I paid the fees. Then I thought that abhi to fees bhar diya hai, now I have to study whatever happens. Then I again purchased the latest books from the bookstore. I started reading the book, but then again I realized that I am only focusing on book 3 and I am reading the same chapters again and again because I have this options and a derivatives background. So I
Right.
was just reading futures book, the chapters on futures and options. So I was doing the same thing again and again.
So you thought that you need some plan, and that is where you started searching, and you reach out to us. And so when did you started? Which month you started with us?
Uh, I think mid of June I started with you, and I joined the weekend batch, and a couple of weekend sessions had already gone, and actually 4 5 chapters were also done from your side. So, but I watched the recorded videos, and the most important you know uh, guide for me was the study planner which you had shared, the Excel file. So from that I came to know what in what sequence we have to study, which chapters we have already completed. So
Okay.
from that point of time, I started studying and focused on all the books and chapters.
Okay. And so you were only referring to Swedger, or you was referred to GAR book also?
Before joining you, I was only referring to GARP, but after I joined the classes, I was only referring to Swayze.
Okay. Now, which book, when you looked at all the four book, which book you felt that this is going to be very tough for me at the start?
Quant, Quants, book 2. So I was very afraid of that because in MBA also we had this a subject called subject. I was able to pass at that point of time, so I had that fear of statistics बहुत रहेगा उसमें probability. I was very much not interested in that actually, honestly speaking. So cons I thought that I will do in the last, but actually that became my favorite book after watching your videos and all these things.
Okay, wonderful. Now, how much hours on a daily basis you were preparing from June mid?
Monday to Friday, my office timings were 9 to 6. So I got up at 7. I made sure that at least I watch one chapter video in the morning before I go to office. Then in the office, I get some time. I again read the book. So I watch your videos, and the entire day I read the book. After coming home, I make notes of that because in office I cannot make notes. I cannot write. So after coming home, I make the notes of that chapter, and on daily basis, I make sure that at least one chapter I finished, and those chapters were the one which you were about to cover in the upcoming,
Yes.
weekend session. Yes.
Okay. So on an average, around 3 hours on a daily basis. Am I correct?
3 to 4 hours. Yes, 3 to
3 to
4
4
hours.
hours. Okay. And when you started from mid June, was there any period that you were not able to focus on your preparation? Any deviation happened? Any challenges you faced till the exam date?
Yeah. So in the month of July, I was assigned a project where I used to come home at around 10:30 p.m. in the night.
Okay.
So that couple of week project, it was just the start of the project. So I have to put a lot of time in that to make the project start. So those 2 weeks I was not able to focus. I was just able to give the morning session, which I used to study. After coming home, I was not able to study because again, the next day I have to go to office and
Right.
watch the. So 2 weeks in July, I was not able to focus properly.
Okay. So, okay. And then primarily when you were also solving, right, the question bank.
Yes.
When were you solving the question bank?
On weekends, I used to solve because the lectures were from 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 3 or 4 p.m. From morning, the chapters which I studied from Monday to Friday, I made sure that I solve the sectional test on weekends in the morning from
Okay.
7 till 3, whenever I get time. I solve the questions on weekend, not on the weekdays.
Okay, wonderful. And when were you able to complete your full reading and full solving of the chapter wise question?
Yeah. So actually, you had only suggested that at least by end of September you have to finish watching the videos and solve the second, the test papers of each and every chapters by September end. And I was able to do that actually. So what I had done is that the Excel file which was shared with us by you, that was actually my main progress tracker. So in that I had added 4-5 more columns like is the lecture done? I used to mark yes, no. Is the revision done? Have I solved the questions? So 4-5 additional columns I had made, and I had created a pivot table out of that. So every day I used to refresh that pivot and watch my progress. That yes, I have completed 40 chapters, 45 chapters. By September end, I was able to complete all the 60 chapters, seeing the videos, solving the sectional test, making notes of each and every chapters. So I had 4 books in which I had written my notes. So by September end, I was able to complete one round of study of all 4 books and make notes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Then after September, what was the status? What were you doing? You started with your revision?
No. So I had only 1 month, October month, and I had put for a leave plan. So from 21st October, so my exam was on 7th of November. From 21st October till 7th, I was on leave. Okay. So
Okay.
I made sure that before 20th of October, I have to do full revision and a proper revision. So from 1st of October, I started revising from the sequence of chapters that you had given in the Excel file. In the revision time, I again started making notes because when I was making actual notes, there were some points which I didn't write, which I thought were important. I again started making another set of notes known as the revision notes. From October 1st till October 20, I made I did the revision properly, and I had also made my revision notes till October 20. From October 21, no revision, only solving the question papers. 6 papers which you had given us. Uh, in the morning from 8 to 12, I used to solve the question paper, eat my food. After eating, I actually used to sleep for 1 hour. After that, the questions which went wrong, I started making notes of those questions. What went wrong, why it went wrong, why I missed this, particular concept while revising. I started making notes. So that was my third set of notes actually. So I had 12 books. When I was in engineering, my habit was to make notes for myself. And in the last 1 week, I just refer to my notes. That's it.
Okay.
So that was
One
my
one thing I really like, that for example, you went to all the question banks, chapter-wise questions,
yes.
and you saw that which question went wrong,
Yes.
and then you did
And
the
I started
analysis.
writing the answer separately in a book, because the answer which I did write, I thought that okay, I'm okay with with the concept, so I will not make it wrong in the exam. But the questions which were wrong for me, I started writing the answer separately in one book.
Okay, and this was completed by 21st of October, or
20 October. 20 October, I
this was done.
finished all the sectional test, all the revision, everything was done by 20th of October.
And when you're saying sectional test means chapter-wise,
Chapter wise test, yes.
there is also book-wise quiz, which is a sectional test. You
That
did that
that
also?
I did after 21st, along with solving the mock papers.
Okay, so what was your reaction for those sectional tests, the book-wise quiz? Were you able to get good score?
Book wise quiz, I was not able to get good score actually, because the thing was that I was not putting my 100%. I realized that I'm not putting my 100% in the sectional test. But so I gave the sectional test of book 1 and book 2, but book 3 and book 4, I thought that it is taking a lot of time for me. So I just started watching the answers, reading the question, watching the answers, and making notes, because I was more interested, and I was so I wanted to start the mock test anyhow up fast. So from 21st till 3-4 days, I was just looking at all the questions, sectional test. I was again revising all the chapter wise questions, because in the mock test, I wanted to make sure that from the first test is itself I score well in the mock test.
Got it. Got it. Now, when you gave the mock exams, what was the score that you were getting in the mock exams? And how many mocks
First
you
mock,
scored?
yeah. So in the first, so I went in the sequence. I solved the first mock paper. I scored 45. And on the same day, I had actually called you also. That's why I had given my first mock exam, and the score is 45. So you told me, okay, it's okay. You can give your exams and track the progress. Next day I got 55 to 60. From third mock exam, I started scoring between 65 to 70, because my strategy was that after first mock, I revised all the questions that went wrong. I had written all the answers, and I started revising it. Again, next day, I had written what went wrong. Then combined, I read for these 2 days what went wrong in both the mock. Then from third mock, I thought that, yes, I am making good progress. So I was scoring between 65 to 70. In the last mock, I scored around 80. So,
Wow.
and that same day, I had called you again that, sir, this is my progress. Mock 1, I scored 45. Now I'm scoring between 75 to 80.
A lot of students, when they score 45, they get demotivated. But what you did was, whatever went wrong, analyze second mock. While doing second mock, completing second mock also, after that, you went to first mock, wrong thing, you did again revision. So this became very good for your final. What was the score in the mock, GARP mock?
GARP mock score was around 65 to 70, because a lot of questions were theory, and I thought that yeah. So in the last week, from 1st of November till 6th of November, after solving all the mock papers and the GARP papers, I thought that I am good in solving the sums, but theory I need to focus. So again, from 1st of November, I started reading Fraser notes line by line, actually. So I had made notes. So my habit is not to make the book untidy. So I had not written a single word in the actual Fraser notes, but I got three different color pens, and I started underlining in the book itself that this concept is what I missed actually. So in the GAR paper, there were theoretical questions. I went back to the book, which question, which paragraph I, misreading very properly. So I started underlining those things. So from 1st of November till 6th of November, I did that. So I just read. So I again went through all the books line by line. I started underlining the important concepts, and that was my final revision actually.
Oh, okay, okay. And then when you went for the exam day, what happened in the first 1 hour when you started solving?
When I started solving, so my strategy was simple: not to jump between questions. Start from question number one. I started from question number one till I remember till question 30, there was no single sum. All 30 questions were theory. And I was able to eliminate two, but there was confusion in two answers. So I used to write in the notes the sheets which had been provided. Question number one, A, B, C, D. I used to strike off two questions, and I used to flag. So I flagged the questions also that I have to come back and check. But I made sure that I mark the answer. I will not leave the question unmarked. So I mark the answer, whatever it is, A, B, C, D. I mark the answer. Go to next. Go to question number two. After 30 questions, I get starting. So the sum started actually after question 30, and sums were easy. Till 50 question, I got 5-6 sums. Sums were easy. Also, the theory questions started becoming easy. In first 30 questions, the question was very big. Answers were also very big. Question was of 2 paragraph. Answer was 2 lines, 3 lines. So it was taking a lot of time. So in first hour, I was able to complete only 15 to 20 questions only.
Oh,
all theory. So I so on the day of the exam, I was not feeling well actually. I was coughing a lot. So the examiner made me sit in one corner of the exam hall, and all the other students were sitting in the other corner because I was coughing a lot. And the examiner gave me 4 strepsils also to eat. That you eat this and give the exam. Don't disturb other students. That yeah.
Okay. But now, so how many theory and how many calculations were there?
Around 70 were theory, 30 were calculations. This is what I have observed.
Okay. And what was the confidence?
Calculations, mostly I was confident that all my questions were right. Because without looking at the options, I started solving it. I got the answer. I checked the option, and yes, the answer was there. So I was confident that this answer I got is there in the option, and this is correct. So calculations mostly were correct for me.
And for theory?
What theory also, first 30 questions, the questions were lengthy, so I was not confident on that. But after that, I started getting small questions, and the options were also 1 word, 2 words. So I was confident in that. But first 30, I remember after from 31st question till 100, I had not flagged a single question because I was confident that the answers are right. I came back to first 30 and I was able to change my answers for a couple of questions. But then I left other answers as it is. Because only 6 minutes, because when I came back to first question again, only 5 to 6 minutes were remaining. I was able to just read 2-3 questions, but then it was correct, basically. The answers were correct, which I marked.
Okay, got it. And then when you went out of the exam, was there any number in your mind that, okay, I might have scored this much right?
55 to 60 was the number in my mind because sums were correct. Theory, I was not that much confident because first 30 questions were difficult. So 55 to 60, I thought that yes, minimum 60 will be correct. And I had called you also that the questions were mixed, difficult, big questions, small questions. So 60, I was confident. Yes.
Okay. Now, what was the quartiles that you got? Final quartile.
2211.
2211. Okay. So first of all, book 3, book 4, very good quartiles. Second quartile.
Most of the sums were there. Yeah.
Second
book 2. Okay. Book 2, sir, I did one mistake. All the hypothesis questions. I don't know why I did that mistake, but hypothesis I was very much confident on. But while revising also, I read all the concept, but I think that in the hypothesis, I got 3, 4 questions. I was not able to answer those correctly because the answers were very confusing. So after coming home, when I thought about the question and I realized that yes, hypothesis ka questions wrong ho gaya. So that may be the reason that I got 2 quartile in book 2.
Okay. Okay. Now, can you give some advice? I mean, 3 advices for people who are going to prepare now for the FRM exam from your experience of preparing.
So first advice I will give is that make a proper sequence of the topics that you want to study. Follow the exam schedule or the chapter wise plan that you have provided, because in that the basic part, all the futures chapters together. Mark, make your own notes or pointers in that Excel itself, that you have finished this chapter reading, you have watched the videos, you have given the sectional test, or you have given the chapter wise test. So the progress can be tracked using that Excel, which I did. That is
Right.
first advice. Second is make your own notes. Watch the videos first before attending the lectures, because that will help uh, clear the concept twice when you watch, you know, when you come in the live session. Because in the live session, I was not getting time to make notes, correct? But when I was watching the videos, I was making notes. I used to pause the video. I write something in my book, and 2 hours video was taking 4 hours because I was making notes for myself.
Right.
So watch the videos before the actual live lectures. Make notes. And third will be on the exam day, just be calm. If just read the concepts or topics which you think that you are not confident on. So for the last day for 2 hours, so I got up at 9. Actually on the exam day I got up at 9. I slept good. I got up at 9. From 9 till 12, I just read what I had written from the mock papers, the answers, the concepts which I thought were incorrect. I just read those concepts, which was around 4 or 5 pages. I just read that only. I didn't read the entire books again, go through each and every page of the book. I just read what went wrong in the mock test, and I went for the exam. So these 3 advice I think will be useful for.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And what has been the response of people or feedback from people now when the results are out?
Yes. So actually I saw the result at 3 a.m. in the night.
Okay.
And I just woke up my wife that I have passed, and she was also very happy actually. I put my status on WhatsApp and on LinkedIn, and in office also. I told my boss, he was very happy. I told the CIO of the company, he was also very happy listening to this. That being in a tech background, see, because I was in this domain working as a BA till 2016. After that, I am working in the a technology background. So working in the technology background, giving something which is more into finance. So that part people were appreciating.
Wow. And so if I understand it correctly, so from June mid, so July, August, September, October, 4.5 months, you were able to clear the exam in the first attempt.
Yes.
Properly and with a job.
With a job,
Right?
yes. With a job and with a job and a 3-year-old kid also at home.
Okay. Wow.
In the weekends, I used to lock myself in the room, so no one was allowed. Only for eating and doing, going to washroom, I just go out. Rest, I was in the bedroom only. I locked myself. No one was allowed to come inside, because during the weekdays I was not able to focus that much. I was able to finish the target which I had set. Watching the videos, making notes, but focus was not there. That much during the weekends were the time where I was able to focus 100%.
Got it. Got it. Wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, this entire journey is going to definitely motivate a lot of people, working people, how to go for the exam. Because a lot of people come with the thought process that I need 9 months, I need 10 months to clear the exam.
Correct. Correct.
But even if they give 10 months, they are very, very focused in the last 3-4 months only. So it is better you start properly, give focus. Yes. And your story is definitely going to help a lot of people to clear the exam in the short span of time. Thank you very much for sharing your journey, and thank you very much for taking out time and talking to us, Rahul. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.